You know, of all the fruits of the Spirit that we are to emulate in our society, it would seem that kindness may be the most lacking. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Friday. You know, when Paul enumerated the characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit in the life of a believer, he pointed out that we are to be opposite from the works of the flesh. In Galatians 5:22, he said, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law." When I consider the word kindness, there are certain people that pop into my mind, maybe special memories of their kind actions or just their demeanor. I believe kindness comes out of a heart of compassion where a person chooses to be considerate toward others unselfishly rather than thinking of just themselves. I actually see some of the ministry of Jesus Christ as a show of kindness to the less fortunate that he met along the way in his travels. You know, when he stopped that large procession that was headed out of Jericho and he found blind Bartimaeus sitting alongside the road, he stopped as this man would beg for alms, and he actually gave him his sight. Then Jesus found the man at the pool of Bethesda who was sitting there hoping for a miraculous cure, although he had had this infirmity for 38 years, and he was probably losing all hope. So Jesus came to him and said, "Arise, take up your bed and walk," healing him, despite the fact that this was on the Sabbath day. It would surely cause some grief from the Jewish leaders. But I often picture kindness as a very tender compassion shown to others who may not seem the most deserving, but then again, being deserving is not the key. They say kindness is the state or the quality of being kind. But I think kindness comes from a benevolent nature or a sweet disposition in a person. Kind acts are just not the nature of some individuals, right? They don't see the opportunities, or they refuse to stoop so low to show that kind of compassion. You know, that's why we need to realize that this is a fruit from the Holy Spirit of God, who is seeking to cultivate it in the life of every believer. It will not be our demeanor or our natural action until we submit and surrender our lives to the work of the Holy Spirit within our hearts and our minds every day. It is probably more in our nature to follow the works of the flesh that Paul had just listed in Galatians 5. And he says these things are evident in a person's life. So let's make the fruit of the Spirit evident in our life today. Let's go out of our way to show some kindness, some love on Valentine's Day to someone less fortunate in our path. And after several acts of kindness, it may become our demeanor to be kind.